They say travel broadens the mind, but for us, it nearly cost our sanity. And a lot of money. Fez Medina is like stepping back in time. Narrow alleyways twist and turn into an endless maze, lined with vibrant markets and centuries-old architecture. The air is filled with the sounds of merchants, the scent of spices, and the hum of life. My wife and I were there to escape, to find peace after losing my mother just months earlier. We had booked a picturesque riad on Airbnb. It looked perfect in the photos. Traditional Moroccan design, secluded, and most importantly, highly rated by other travelers. The host greeted us with a reserved nod. He spoke quietly, his words measured, as if he was choosing each one with care. "Welcome," he said, his eyes lingering a second too long. He offered us tea, but there was no warmth in the gesture, just a sense of obligation. He rarely smiled and seemed disinterested in small talk. At one point, he mentioned the Medina. "There are places only a few know," he said, almost to himself, before adding, "I can show you." His demeanor wasn't welcoming, it was unnerving. But we chalked it up to cultural differences, convincing ourselves he was just shy or introverted. He seemed to be everywhere. Whenever we thought we were alone, he would appear, popping out of nowhere with a cold smile. Still, we brushed it off. After all, he was just trying to be helpful, right? The next day, he offered to take us on a tour of the Medina. "You'll never find these spots on your own," he said. He was insistent, and we agreed. The day started beautifully. He showed us bustling markets, stunning mosaics, and quiet courtyards hidden behind ornate doors. But as the day went on, the energy changed. We reached a fork in the road. One path was alive with people, vendors shouting, children playing, the kind of chaos that felt comforting in its familiarity. The other path was silent, eerily so. It curved out of sight with shadows dancing on its walls. The host pointed to the empty street. "This way," he said. "There's a special restaurant down here. No tourists, just locals. You'll love it." His tone was characteristic, firm, almost insistent. My wife hesitated. "Why is it so empty?" she asked. He brushed off her concern. "That's the beauty of it. No one knows about this place." But something felt wrong. A chill ran down my spine. The emptiness of the street, the way his voice seemed to shift, it all screamed danger. We exchanged a glance, and in that moment, we decided. "We'll catch up with you later," I said, feigning excitement. "We just want to check out this market first." His cold smile faltered for a second before returning. "You will get lost," he said. "We can check the market later." We walked away and didn't look back. We moved quickly, merging into the crowded street, the noise and chaos suddenly a comfort. By the time we reached the riad later that night, we had made up our minds to leave. I told the host we had a family emergency and needed to return home immediately. His expression was unreadable. "I hope your journey back is safe," he said, "but I will have to charge you for the whole week," his voice oddly calm. Back home, we thought we'd escaped the worst. But then it happened. A couple of days later, I logged into my bank account to find $500,000 missing. Gone. The money I had saved from selling my late mother's house had vanished. My heart sank. How could this happen? I retraced every step, every transaction. And then it hit me. The Wi-Fi. During our stay at the riad, we had connected to the host's network. It seemed normal at the time, but investigators later revealed that malware had been installed on our devices. It allowed someone, likely the host, to access my accounts remotely. The origin of the attack? Fez, Morocco. We contacted the FBI, but the trail quickly went cold. Moroccan authorities offered little help, and the host was nowhere to be found. Airbnb denied responsibility, citing their terms of service. The money was gone, and with it, a tangible connection to my mother. The emotional toll was devastating. Not just the loss of money, but the betrayal, the feeling of being preyed upon when we were most vulnerable. This isn't just a story about money. It's a story about trust and how easily it can be shattered. If you've ever had a travel experience go horribly wrong, share your story in the comments. And if you enjoy suspenseful tales like this one, don't forget to subscribe. Who knows? The next story might just make you think twice before trusting a stranger.